It is pointless to resist.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 245, being recorded on February 7th, 2024. Geez, almost said 2023. It's the rain. It's all the rain, moisture in the air. Woo, California. I'm your host, Darth Moocher. I got Scott Solo here.
What's up, nerds?
I've got Grand Admiral Franz.
Hello.
And Bootleg Joe.
Sorry, I got a cough drop in my mouth.
Fingers crossed his internet stays up this time. So
Yeah.
Let's see if you can stay up, Joey.
Yeah, come on, Joe. Let's go.
Pop you a little blue pill. Keep it going all night.
We're all of age. I mean, hey. And Ernie the Fallen Fett will be joining us shortly. We'll see. I know he started late, so I don't know.
I think I just saw him live. I think he's live right now. So,
He is. Yeah.
He is, yeah. So,
Talking sneaker cleanliness.
he's still working on his 500th follower celebration.
Thanking all. Yes. Thank them all. All right, cool. Well, before we get into it, of course, we are celebrating Star Wars Podcast Day, and we'll get into what that is, what that means, and anybody new that's going to be joining us, and let's tell them what we're all about here. But before we get into that, I know Scott's having some camera issues there, but Scott, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So
I'll figure the camera thing out eventually. Look at that. I can just look beautiful.
What does have two
right
mooches?
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Double
mean,
moochers.
I don't know
Change my
why
name to Darth Moocher Mark II.
I must be loved in here to everybody use my profile as their screensavers. So.
Scott
do
Moocher.
the Iron Mooch. One of those will roll right through.
All right. Well, before we get into it, Scott, go ahead and shout out our Shadow Council and
You
everybody's
got
been
it.
digested in the pit. So take it away.
All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you, one and all, to our Shadow Council. Without you, this amazing show just wouldn't happen.
Our cameras wouldn't work.
Our
We need a new
cameras
camera,
wouldn't work.
obviously.
Hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
So
We need a new Shadow Council member. Somebody jump on in. We need a cam.
Scott needs a new. Come on, Scotty needs a new camera. So, yeah, but special thanks to AJ from the Forbidden Panel, Brandon and Anya Epler, Brian C, Cliff, Crystal E, Dennis McGrath, Don the Dad Dorn, Eric Grubb, Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude, Gavin Connor from the Holy Hour All Cure podcast, Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Luke, aka Junk Droid 77, Mervine Bolanos, Matt Logic, Nicholas Schaefer, Papa Schmitty, Ryan, and the Star Joe's podcast. If you want to join up with the Shadow Council and get this guy a brand new camera, just scan that QR code right there and offer up a couple of bucks a month, and it goes right back into the production of the show. We'd really appreciate it.
Well, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It's because camera. Never mind.
Shit's breaking all around us. They're falling down.
Everybody's all.
As soon as I'm done with these shout outs, I'm going to figure this camera crap out.
Okay,
So,
we figured.
Perfect.
also, we are currently digesting Gordon. Jesus, I'm choking to death too. Gordon Skalski. We've got Rhino Hobbies in there. We've got Don the Dad. That was Don the Dad. He's my father-in-law. I should be able to at least say his damn name. I am just messing up left and right today. It's the picture.
It's all
When I
good.
look like Mooch. I get all.
Flustering.
wobbly.
I know.
You got hair in your mouth. It's hard to do.
Exactly. We also have Gavin Connor in there. We've got Crystal E and Brian C. What is up, everybody?
No, we are
All right,
finally
now, pardon
dry, actually. So
Kinda. It's drizzling again.
it is. Yeah.
The wind
and now,
is insane.
the wind is
Silly.
intense, and I was just telling Chris, like, it's going to snow tonight here. So what? Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, that's what. Of course, it changes on a daily, but it was kind of shocking to see that. Like, and again, we just enjoy it because then we'll have 10 months of sunshine. That's just the way it is.
True.
So, well, thank you, Scott. Go ahead and fix your camera, and we'll get rolling here. So, like I mentioned before, it's Star Wars Podcast Day, and of course, our network, the Red 5 Network. All of us are joining in today. We're all of course, we're scheduled to podcast, and we have our regular topics that we're going to go over and all this cool stuff, but also it is up to us to mention that 25 years ago, on the anniversary of the Phantom Menace, by the way, this whole year in May, the Jedi Talk podcast started, and that what started this whole trend of, oh my God, we could do the podcasts were a thing, and we could talk Star Wars like beyond standing in line, right? So, which is a very, very cool thing. So if you happen to see that on YouTube anywhere or anything else and it says Star Wars Podcast Day, go in there, put a like in there, subscribe to the channel, and join the community. If you're new here, welcome. We go live every Wednesday, and we break everything down from news, theories, rumors, what have you, just like we will do today. So happy Star Wars Podcast Day, everybody, and welcome all the new faces and the old faces. So I did my spiel. With that,
this is like we've been doing it since day one, right? Since they started doing Star Wars Podcast Day.
I think so.
This deal. Before we were.
This is the fourth annual.
Yeah,
this is the fourth annual. Yeah, we're going on our 7th year podcasting.
No, I know that. I mean, since the first day of their starting this program. Yeah. Cool.
Yes. So yeah.
So this episode is super special, and we'll do something. Nothing special. It's just same old stuff, right?
I think what we'll do is we'll talk Star Wars this episode. I mean,
that's the deal. Let's do it.
It's funny because like we sit there in our chat rooms and all this stuff, and we go like, what's up? What's going on today? What's going on in Star Wars? What are we going to talk about? And I'm like, you know what? We just turn the mics on and we'll talk. But again, Wednesdays happen to be like hot mic days or hot topic days because I mean, we got a lot of stuff stirring in the Star Wars world. From controversies to announcements to official things going on, and it's
sadness.
sadness. Yeah, sadness too, man. Like we lost Carl Weathers this week, Grief Karga, and that's like, I mean, that sucks. That sucks because he wasn't sick or anything like that. It's just boom, gone. You know what I mean? And yeah, so we will remember him throughout when we talk to this week's episode too, and also the legacy the guy left behind, because he left behind, like I said, entertained our childhoods from Rocky, of course, to Action Jackson, Predator.
Oh, I forgot about
Star
that.
Wars. Yeah. So, like, I mean, that's one of those things where I really don't get starstruck a lot. I'm kind of like, whatever. But he's one of them that I was like, damn. Not just because he was in Star Wars, just like, damn.
It's just a drag because you just realize that everybody that we grew up with, and every time it happens, like Carrie Fisher was one of them. You're like, oh man, our heroes are going to go, right? and then this one again puts you back into the Star Wars world. And the man's 72 years old, 76. What
76?
76, right? Many of our heroes are older.
James Earl Jones is in his 90s.
Right. Lucas, Lucas himself.
I saw his picture. What was it, today or yesterday? Right away, my heart stopped. I was like, no.
Who? James Earl Jones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Harrison Ford, James Earl Jones, George Lucas. These guys are not young, and it's like we're going to start losing our heroes. Real quick, more of them faster, and that's what's
usually we hear about it and it's a sickness, it's an illness, and that's always Carrie Fisher, having her illness and going through all that stuff, and it's like, damn, but and then it's like the last person you would want to wake up and hear, it's like, oh man, like, not him. I mean, not anybody, but it just like this personally, like for me, it hits different all the time, but yeah, Chris, you're right. It's a reality check, so but damn, I think I even posted, said, dude, the dude has a Star Wars action figure. He made it. Like he left a mark on his life. He has Star Wars action figure, you know what I mean? And yeah, so how does that work? How's it going to work, guys? Like I know, like it's tough to go from like reality to, okay, now his character is where it's going to go, but I think that's what we do.
It's what we do, right? You do it. They had to do it right away and talk about it at Disney. They didn't. The next day they were talking about, oh shit, what do we do now? You have to discuss it.
Dave Filoni came out and said something about like, I'm excited for the future projects and remembering Carl Weathers, but also like I was excited for his character to kind of go. And I think
that's a character that they can finish his life off screen. They can do a funeral for him off screen, or on screen. And it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't. His story was pretty much wrapped, right? I mean, we did that the last Mandalorian. So the way they left it with Mando kicked back on the at the homestead, it was only because he's in that spot because Grief gave him that spot. Yeah. Right. I mean, that's the connection, but they're done from that. They're good.
Yeah.
He
offered him. He offered him the position of Marshal, but then he turned it down. They gave it to IG-11, so there's no reason for them to really interact anymore.
No. Right. Besides, he lives there. Besides him living there, that's it. But he'll obviously be on Navarro at some point. He'll need IG-11 at some point. So there will have to be a connection. They'll have to address it, but they can address it very easy. Or don't kill him. Say he's off planet, and then he can live on in comics and animation. That's just how you have to do it. Sometimes, right?
That would be comics and animation would be a great thing. But also, like, the way that Mando season 3 ended, honestly, it can go anywhere because it did end. I mean, it did finalize a whole chapter, and this whole new adventure can go on.
The rest of it's New Republic stuff. He's going to move on from Navarro and this whole Mandalorian saga and move into the New Republic stuff. That's
exactly.
That's what everybody has to get their head wrapped around too. Like the fans of the Mandalorian stuff is like, we're not going to deal with the way it's been, right?
The first three, it's almost like it's done. It's history.
You're going to get the same characters, but
something different. Yeah,
I bet a whole different way of looking at it.
Yeah. Jake Gooding checking in. Yo, what's up, everyone? We've got Santo 1414. So it's 100% right. The way everything was left off and the way these future projects are trying to pan out. Like we got some news on some future projects and some dates and everything that we'll go over. But it absolutely can be like, all right, that was that chapter of everything, and now the next thing moving forward. Like I said, Ahsoka set up so much for to bring these existing characters back into this fray and just continue the story again. Like there's no reason to like regurgitate Moff Gideon. There's no reason to go back and all these things. It's done.
No,
it could be done. Let's put it that way.
I think Grief was kind of the character that I think Carson is now, right? Grief was the go-to for the first couple of Mandalorian seasons whenever Din needed help and needed to go somewhere or needed something.
So as the guild leader,
he was kind of there, right? He was that. Now Carson's taken that other guy.
That's right.
Type of role, and
100%.
That's just it. It's just a shift. So
Ubaldo, hello everyone.
Yo,
yes, yep. Between him and taking over also Cara Dune's position too.
Yeah, he just takes them all. He's an amalgam of everybody. He can handle it all. He's good.
Yeah, I mean, it does go hand in hand with that stuff where a lot of times we look at the character and we're like, oh, the blatant, like, oh, how do you continue that? I mean, there was no like stopping point, which, it's like fortunate and unfortunately, right? Like for real life and stuff, there is stopping points for a lot of these characters. Like I said, the only one that's safe at this point would be Grogu, Mandalorian, Carson Teva, and then all the Ahsoka cast. It's everybody from. You can even leave Bo-Katan. Honestly, you could, and just leave it at that. Like, okay, she took over Mandalorian, rebuilt it.
Oh yeah, she doesn't have to be around. She's a different planet.
Yeah.
We don't hear from the other planets. Why hear from her?
Exactly. It's just often now because we're following Mandalorian, right? We're following Mando and Grogu. Mando and Grogu, the official title, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you see the logo for it?
Yeah, we saw the logo. And we all kind of like speculated, kind of knew it was gonna be that's the official title, but now it's like official. We actually have a splash screen of the logo. And
if I could find it, I'd share it.
Yeah, I mean it's all over the place. It's really nothing special. Just as Mandalorian and Grogu. Again, to me, that seems like a side adventure movie. But again, we'll see. Maybe that is a direct tie-in.
Yeah, man, I gotta see. Right? It bugs me a little bit that it is.
It does, yeah.
And unless I know that it's part of a 3-part saga going into, I need to see the wrap around it, right? Star Wars and Heir to the Empire story.
I want to see the poster,
something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got to see the whole thing, man. And the synopsis.
I mean, if it's like Mandalorian Grogu right there, and then you have Thrawn's eyes behind him, behind the whole.
We've been saying that the whole time.
And
he's got the eyes, man. Why don't we just use that in a poster?
Right? Yeah. I mean, and then how this Rebels cat. Then it's like, okay, cool. The chapter 1's called Mandalorian, or part 1 is Mandalorian Grogu, and how this little like duo is basically the heart and soul of this thing moving forward, and they got thrown into a bigger conflict, bigger world, and that would be sense rather than like here's this cool side adventure, which is also all cool, and we will see it. We will stand in line, but I think at this point in Star Wars, we've always been looking for the big picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's we're repeating ourselves on that because as much as like we'd like, and I'll go into this with the Lando announcement too. Like the Lando and Solo are kind of like this side tail going, off, and it's cool, but it doesn't have that impact of like world effective, the like affecting the
There's
actual
nothing
galaxy.
earth shattering. There's nothing galaxy shattering.
It's the fun adventure.
No matter what happens in that adventure, it's still going to end the same.
Yes.
Right. That's it. There's nothing to build on for Lando.
It's just their personal stories. Right. How the Falcon how he lost, all that stuff. So
it just opens up his character a little more. That's all it does. It's not changing the galaxy. But
and I mean, we got that news today too, right?
Not so much news. It was an interview while he was doing for Mr. and Mrs. Smith and some other things he was working on. They were doing this long ass interview. Was it Vanity Fair? I forget what I said. But I had to read the damn
Hollywood Reporter or Vanity Fair. One of the two.
Anyway, it was a long ass interview, and I had to read it, and it wasn't as done, so I had to sit there, and that was dumb.
Yeah,
so you go through the whole thing. It took to the end to talk about it, and all it really was they're working on it. There's a lot. He's trying to be politically correct, but there seems to be a lot of executive interference. Did you read that? Did you infer that? Okay, that's how I infer.
I did.
I'm doing it, but there's a lot of shit going on. It's going to take time because there's interference.
Donald Glover, and he's talking about him writing the Lando stuff, and he actually called it a movie, and that was kind of like, okay, it's not a series, it's a movie, and that's cool. Because my first thought was like Solo, Lando, and then and then having that continuation, but it's like, okay, not Lando's side of it, but like having Han and Chewie into this thing and moving on, going forward, that would be awesome. And then address the Darth Maul issue, address things going forward, address Crimson Dawn. that it's a perfect opportunity. And I hope he understands that. I know he's writing it and the powers that be, and I'm hoping that's where he gets on that like that pushback stuff, which I'm hoping it's all creative writing rather than PR stuff, right? That's my hope anyway.
I hope
like,
too.
hey, look, guys, we started something Solo, so I'm going to continue some aspects of it with this awesome Lando adventure because it's all open book for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything they put on the screen is going to be like, this is awesome because we don't have any reference material to go and try
and everybody's already accepted him as Lando. That's not
absolutely. That's not even an issue, right? Bring back Aaron Reich, as Han, and it's a perfect time. If you're going to do it, that's the time frame to do it. Pre-original trilogy, Matt Logic checking in. Evening.
What's up, Matt?
We have This Is the Way checking in. Hello, third time watching. Thank you very much. Still think Carl Weathers' best scene was do the magic hand thing. Yeah, absolutely. That. Come on, kid, do the magic hand thing.
I'm sad that I can't talk shit about the episode anymore that he directed.
I know. So
at least for a while, and because I always have a good time. I have a good time tearing that episode out.
I got one story about him. He went to Long Beach Poly with my mom and my uncle, and they used to play in a band. It was my uncle, Carl Weathers, and I guess a couple of their friends. And I guess Carl Weathers played. I don't know if he played bass or drums, but they used to go and play in my grandma's garage. So, because I remember watching Rocky as a kid, my mom would say, "That's our friend right there," and I'm like, "Yeah, right."
Oh, that's
awesome.
Apollo
don't even know you guys exist.
Yeah, this dude.
She's like, no, and she when we went to my uncle's house, he showed us the pictures. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, so he was in my grandma's garage.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That is cool, man. Yeah. I am bummed that again. I liked his character. I like Greef Karga's character. I was watching the episode with the Babu Fricks and you're thinking, and he kept repeating, he's saying that you can't. I'm just like,
that was a great scene,
dude.
I love that scene.
That actually his role. I love the fact that he's got the long flowing robes,
Grand Magistrate,
Grand Magistrate. He's all fancy and all that, and then those pirates come up, and he's the first one to draw on him and take him down. Yeah. I'm like,
once a pirate, always a pirate kind of deal.
That was a whole great episode. Yeah,
nice. Brian C. Joe, so cool. Hi, what is it? High
Magistrate.
Just respect, Joe. Respect. So but did we always knew that the Lando thing was going to be a movie, or did we just kind of speculate? We didn't know what it was going to be.
Series. I thought I had assumed it was a series because that's what they were originally talking about, right?
I think it was a bit of both, and we were speculating a lot on it, and then we all turned it into Lando's old Lando. They were telling stories about young Lando, and somehow I think we might have actually hit that. I still think that's going to be what happens.
I think so, and
maybe that's what now. Because they can't wait on Billy D 2 more years, dude.
No.
You got to get that done now.
Please don't. Maybe that's the push that he's trying to do. We got to do the Chronicles. And we might make this a thing, or the movie is the beginning of the Chronicles. You know what I mean? And then go off into an animated spin-off of it. That would be cool.
I'd take that. So, hey,
Ernie, the Fallen Fett, is joining us. Welcome.
Hey,
hello there.
Hello there. Sorry. Do you there's a good segue into the movie release date.
The slate.
Do we have a picture of that to put up?
Nobody asked me to pull up a slate.
No, I know it at the top of my head. So we'll just go. And as far as months, it's a May 26th release, May 2026, a December 2026, and a December 2027. So we know of 4 movies, right? But we only have 3 dates. So 3 of them will be
those movies,
right?
Yeah.
So you're going to deal with the Rey movie,
wow,
the Old Republic movie, the Grogu and Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and
Filoni's.
So Heir of the Empire. Heir of the Empire's got to be beyond 2027 then. So
I think because
that's
we know, and because we got that title shot of the Mandalorian Grogu, I'm assuming that's the first one.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
May
me too.
2026.
Right?
Yeah.
And
so May
what I was thinking with that, because we've got to the point where we've got episodics are on in December now, right? So
yes,
those would be the other movies, and I would think these May ones would be a Disney Plus spinoff.
Solo was in May.
Right, and I'm just thinking is like for these Disney specifically, you'll get this one, the Filoni one. If there's a third one, those will all be May releases to differentiate them from anything like big movie.
That could be that. Yes.
Well, we did see that Mandalorian and Grogu is one of them set for 2026.
And we would assume the first one, so we're thinking May, and that's makes
the
sense,
earliest,
right?
Yeah, and that was kind of like shocked that because we got the original 3 of those movies, and then we got this Mandalorian Grogu came out of nowhere.
But that's how it always is, dude. That's how Rogue One was. That's how Solo was. It was like, where the F did that come from? You know, all those just popped out, and like, oh, okay, there's
and what we do is we go, okay, what's the reason? Because again, how we just started talking about like Mandalorian as a series moving forward with or without characters or changing the stories up going forward. This movie could be like that, really that fresh start of fast forward to this, even it's like maybe a time jump or whatever it is. And now and then you propel movies off of that and then other Disney shows off of that. Isn't Mandalorian always like a December-ish, late year, early? Okay. So
that's what I was about to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
if we end up having the season 4 Mandalorian, because we were talking about this might be the wrap up to the season 4 of the Mandalorian, we'll probably have season 4 of Mandalorian in December through, early February. And then May, you have the wrap up movie. That would make a lot of sense.
See, right. And what's funny, I think the season is going to come after the movie. It's not a movie.
I was just going to say opposite of that.
Yeah. So I think it'll be, they'll keep Mandalorian in December 2026.
It'll be 2 years.
And we'll have
it is a long time. But
it is. But we have other stuff filling it up. They'll have to put some cartoons out. I'm sure we'll get Ahsoka too.
Well, it's a long time to wait, but it's the hype of the Mando Grogu that'll keep everybody's on the edge of their seat, right? You know what I mean? You don't have to hit a season right away. You have the movie, even though that it's a year and a half away.
They'll throw something else in there, man. They have to throw in a Disney Plus show or two. There's going to have to Ahsoka 2 has to be done. I don't know what else. What other shows are there? Andor 2.
Andor.
And complain about for a couple weeks.
And then also we got Celebration Japan in 2025. So that's going to it will have that in between all these things, all the move before the comeback of the movies. It's been 7 years. It'll be 6.5 years since a movie was released. So 2019 was Rise of Skywalker, and then you have 2026 of May. So that's 6.5 years. Now, we've always complained about this, about like the sequels only having 2 years of production into each other. I'm like, all right, guys, I know there's been turmoil and stuff, but now you've had 6 years to marinate on a theatrical release. 6.5. So I hope you get back on track. I hope you get into this swing of things like, all right, we got all the stuff out. The world's changed. The world's messed up. Now let's get back to storytelling. Now let's get back to like real good entertainment. Hire the right people for the right job, or that's subjective. But
take your time with it. Don't rush anything.
Take your time with it,
Don't come up with any, somehow, somebody survived. Just work it out. Work out the kinks. Make it make sense. Just tell a damn good story and leave your agendas to the side.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't do the somehow Thrawn returned. You know what I mean? Like, no, we got a whole season of Thrawn returning. It was like,
it wasn't just here he is and he's back. It's you got to deal with getting him back. That's the better step. Asajj,
great,
I hope they better do the same thing for Asajj. I better get a good detail of her death and return.
I agree.
Well, they said it. They said, nope, all that happened. This works. So all right.
Somehow it works.
And we're 14 days away from Bad Batch too. 14
really?
Yes.
Oh, how am I not paying attention to that at all? Do you say that in the beginning of the show every time?
I messed up.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. I'm like, damn, I'm not paying attention to that. How are we? We got it this month. I'm out of it.
I messed up. We got Toy Renzu in the house checking in. What's up, nerds? What's up, man? So like I said, 14 days away from that, and then we'll have a month and a half, 2 months of talking about Bad Batch. And you're right. I really do hope with the Bad Batch, it is not just a fleeting mention of Visage or just like an episode of like something she did in the past. I want, let's have her come back, but show her.
I imagine she's going to get a whole episode, like a filler episode, not a filler episode, like a whole montage, beginning past what happened to her. And then, I would hope almost get the whole arc.
She was working as a bounty hunter, right? And right before Dark Disciple.
Mm-hmm.
So we also know we're getting Cad Bane and Fennec Shandon. And I wonder if it's going to be a whole bounty hunter centered episode where she just kind of features into it.
That's right.
Yeah, Alpha's coming, Boba Fett's coming. I mean, we talked about this is how you get him in, and this is how you get it. Yeah, and they mentioned Alpha.
Activate.
Boba Fett's gonna save Omega. I buy. Okay, I'm cool with it.
She's got a sister that's gonna save her.
Bro, as long as it doesn't turn into a Rey and Kylo love story with them, I'm fine. That's fine.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean,
they're not gonna let Boba come in and rescue the two sisters. They're not.
No, but what will happen is Boba will come in, he'll get in trouble, and Omega will save him.
There you go. That's what'll happen. He will bumble and stumble his way into trouble. She will get him out there unconscious and fly Slave One.
Yeah, unconscious.
Launching. She's
hey
the
man,
one launches
Ernie, I see your face, dude. But I mean, you saw Fennec over to Sarlacc. If it wasn't for Fennec, the Slave One was toast.
That's true. I know.
Did Boba Fett do anything cool, Ernie? I mean, come on.
He wrote a Rancor. He wrote a Rancor.
He put the whole story together. But you're right. You can see Fennec getting pissed in that show as you do a rewatch.
Yeah.
She really was. She really was. You can see it.
And that's what
thing. Even if you don't give us the Book of Boba Fett, then the next one should have been the Book of Fennec Shand.
Yeah.
Like you should have continued it that way.
You did build her up
that
enough.
A series.
That would have been better if there was more conflict with those two characters. Then,
you're
right?
You can see it in a rewatch. Look at it.
Yeah.
She was getting frustrated.
She's always
with Boba. She ran it.
A lot of side.
Yeah.
She ran it when he just wanted to retire and collect everybody's HOA. And that was it. And if there was a Book of Fennec Shand, that would be dope. That would be.
Yeah.
Because you'd get more action, more hardcore, more I'm gonna bust your head.
And less people too would get off the whole Boba thing because you say you got to take it as a series. Right? So if you're just watching Boba Fett as the first book, then you got Fennec, and then you actually can move on to Cad Bane. Like imagine
that would be the third book,
Oh, okay. But I mean,
all of them. And that's the thing. It's all these chapters in these books.
It would work. It would.
It's interesting because now,
let me text Dave. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tell him.
Text Dave and make sure and say if there's some scenes, maybe we could.
We don't say dog.
Stop voice text.
Sorry. Yeah. Right. We don't say dog to each other. We say wolf.
Gotcha. Hey, Michael is checking in Federation representation. Hope you guys and the families are well. Baby Abigail woke up for a bottle and some Sarlacc Digest.
Woo-hoo. Yay.
Rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Yes. Thank you for checking in, man. That's awesome. That now that you we talk and analyze Book of Fett a lot because I did rewatch. Everybody here, most everybody here did some sort of revisit on it, and so with how we do things in our head, we can sit there and go, okay, now there is some dissension between those two characters, even more so, and we could talk ourselves into it. But I think that show could have benefited from that, where Boba Fett was doing these things, and she should have questioned him and almost got physical about it. They should have gotten violent about it.
They should have shown some argument between if they were going to go that route ever.
Yeah, she should have questioned and then maybe tried to don't him. You know what I mean? And then just like Cad Bane did, right? It's almost like the Cad Bane thing. It's like, what's your angle? I don't understand what you're doing here, man.
I feel that every time.
I love Cad Bane.
Me and Cad Bane both. What's your angle?
Yeah.
Here it is. You guys want major tie-in? I'm just writing this for Dave now. Okay, so we do Book of Fennec, right? Jesus. She excuses him, but at the same time knows that she owes him something, and it's like, look, you're out. I'm taking over. but I do owe you. Do you even have somewhere to go? You can stay in a room. And he says, well, my sister doesn't live far from here. and there's the whole tie into Omega. Like, just that's all you got to say. That's all he has to say is that.
And they left it perfectly open for that, because that last scene in the Book of Fett where Fennec took out all the members, the mayor, and
supposed to.
Right. Like I said, that could have been shown as that was her own doing. Like, she went over Boba Fett's helmet and did it.
Correct.
Not quite over it, just
more to the side.
To the side. Yeah. That would have been cool, right? As the next progression.
Surrounded by assholes.
Oh my goodness. That we write our own Star Wars here sometimes,
Gotta keep rewriting. Yeah, sometimes you got to keep rewriting Boba Fett, though. That's the problem. I don't have to rewrite all of it. I don't have to rewrite Mando at all, right? I'm good with all of it. It's Boba that upsets me. But we've been through that a couple of times, so I won't dwell.
We have.
When's Andor come out so I can start bitching about it?
Next year. I think it's next year.
Oh, it's not this year? Oh.
No, it's not this year.
Yeah. All we have is Bad Batch.
And Bad Batch, Skeleton, and Acolyte.
No. Right. Then, we have those too.
When? Help me with dates. I don't remember any of it.
December is one of them.
That's too far.
I think Skeleton Crew is end of year and Acolyte this summer. That's my. So we have Bad Batch, and then we'll have like maybe Acolyte in August or July.
See, I'm getting spoiled. As much as we talk about like, oh man, it's been 6.5 years for a movie. I'm not feeling under Star Wars.
No, because we've had Disney Plus to fill in that gap, and we've had all of Disney Plus to fill in that gap.
Inappropriate amount.
Tales of the Jedi too.
That's
Tales. That's right. Tales is this year too. Tales 2.
All right, so that's 4 things. 4 things a year makes me happy. Right? That's once a quarter.
It's just
that's cool.
Again, you're right. Like, we've been in this Disney Plus mode where, yes, we would love to go back to the theaters, but it's coming, but it's just like we started to mention, it's getting pushed out so far. Like, I gotta start eating better. They're like, wait a second, now I can't take this for granted. I gotta eat some vegetables in my diet.
I mean,
here.
Some of us are in our mid 40s. Some of us are almost 50. It's just like, we gotta watch it.
I mean, once you hit 50, you're just basically gone already.
It's done.
Basically.
It's done. Yeah.
I mean, that's really
wow.
Especially if you hit 50 before 2026.
Jesus.
And then
I hear there's some good stuff coming out in 2027 for people pre-50, but
yeah. After that,
you're toast.
It's a done deal. Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah.
We joke now, Scott.
I'm gonna feel so bad. We have to play this back and be like,
no
assholes.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, we gotta. Okay, I'm gonna tell 2 horrible stories. One time, 6 a.m, my buddy's knocking on my door like the police, right? And I'm like, in my bedroom, we're roommates. Okay, I open the door and I say, man, somebody better be dead. So I'll never say that again. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, and then
Chris.
So then this last year we went on vacation to England, and my Coco was old, right? But she's the 3rd oldest dog in the house. I still have 2 that were older than her, right? But she was looking all nasty and Coco-y, right? So I tell the kids, because they're here visiting, I'm all, hey, I'm saying goodbye to Coco because I might not see her. Remember, if she goes, take her to Dr. Dan and blah 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 blah. Just joking, because that's how we do.
Yes,
first day on vacation, I get a call over there, and the dog passed away. So so eat your vegetables, take your vitamins, y'all. My bad. We shouldn't be joking about this.
Yeah,
hey, you put me in an early grave. You did.
Right. No, it's gonna be.
We never said any names. We didn't say any names.
No, I'll be 50 one day.
Yeah, I think with 2026. Yeah,
I screwed up the math. I said 27, and that would have been my 50. So I screwed up. You'd be 50. Yeah, you're screwed too.
Yeah. Well, 26. Right. Well, 50,
there we go.
49.
So right after Bad Batch. If it's right after, I'm even happier because I'm ready. I am ready.
Yeah, Brian. I think like Bad Batch ends in May, right? May.
No. Does it? Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I've heard like kind of like late May. I'd be great. I'd be happy with it. And speaking of Acolyte, like the Acolyte and the Skeleton Crew, to me personally, it's one of those. It's those shows that make me a little nervous because there is no real foundations for him besides Acolyte being tied into the High Republic, but I don't know how much that is going into it because that's its own thing, and only a handful of people have actually gotten into that, so I don't know how it can carry forth. But the stuff that I've been like, I do, go on other, or watch other shows and other things like that, and it's not fly on the wall stuff. It's almost like, okay, this person and this person, and kind of like speculating on Acolyte being very, very Sith lore heavy, rather than a cloak and dagger, because we know it's going to be like this cloak and dagger thing about a Sith, return or in the midst of the Jedi, and the Jedi kind of finding out, but not finding out, right? Because it's supposed,
they can't find out. There hasn't been a
right. It's almost like it's almost like a Jedi is going to find out and then trying to get to the hub and gets killed right before he go.
Yeah, like the Darth Maul book. Like he would always kill everybody. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And that's what I'm expecting. But then I've been hearing a lot of these people talking about the Acolyte in like interviews and all that stuff, and be like, with that kind of overhead story, we're going to get a lot of lore. Like there's going to be Sith holocrons that are going to be opened, and we're going to see Bane, Revan, Nihilus. We're going to see a lot of influence and a lot of history being opened for Sith. And I'm like, okay, see, that to me supersedes everything. You know,
was that interviews or was that like us bullshitting? Because we've all talked about that stuff. Or did you see that like in a legit? Yeah,
both. And I'll tell you where I said, like, I follow, like, said Star Wars Meg, and she does those speculations, but she also bases it on like interview and this little blurb here. Nothing, always a grain of salt, and she always says that this is a grain of salt, but this makes the most sense going this far. And I because I want to hear those things, I'm like, oh, let's go, right?
Hopefully people do that with us when we make up bullshit too, because I'm in that boat too. Those are the exact same things we talked about. So I mean, hoping that all happens. I really, because you're the acolyte of something, right? You can't just be an acolyte without somebody or something around you.
And that's a doorway to the old republic, right? I mean, you introduce these characters, you introduce these ideas, and the Acolyte, which is already coming out, that just kind of opens a pathway to tell those stories. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No, right. And like I said,
it does make the most sense. It does.
We're looking for it because we've mentioned those things, and now it's being repeated on other places that are like-minded with us.
Oh, you mean like Heir to the Empire?
Yeah, man. I mean,
because that was on the minute from us. That was way before they ever said on Heir to the Empire.
It was 2020.
Yeah, that we killed that. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's totally us. We influenced the writing team going forward.
I know it was.
Absolutely.
I know it was. Dave. I don't know why I do that. Ernie's the one that knows them all.
Smile and nod, Ernie. Just smile and nod. Don't get in trouble.
Hi.
Yeah, you guys are right. The other one is like I said, the Skeleton Crew, which again,
I don't know what to think about.
I don't know. I'm not excited for it, but I'll take
it. These are kid Jedi, right? And if it's supposed to be like a Stranger Things, Goonies type deal, I love those shows. I love things with kids in there and an adventure. And if they're acting dumb but in a galactic way. Now, if it gets too earthy, right? Like if we start pulling some shit, I'm not going to like it. And that's the thing. But they're goofy alien kids and do some stuff and they get into their adventures and you've got some heart in there and you care about these children and you get some force. You're going to get magic because they're all Jedi, right? I'm assuming these are force sensitives. Right. So a lot of cool stuff can happen.
The way I get nervous is that what you just said is everything that we want. That's our checklist. I'm hoping that the creatives at B have that same feeling and something like that. Like if you're going to go a Jedi kid story thrust into this world and that Goonie Stranger Things thing, like again, you throw in those names and we kind of all of us here go to a specific mode and everything. When you throw in Goonies and Stranger Things, it's like, be careful because that's exactly what we'll expect. You know what I mean? And
a good example of that. Remember when they talked about Green Lantern? What was Green Lantern going to be? The Star Wars of the DC universe.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do that. You can't do that because then you set yourself up for shit, right?
Be careful.
Just like you're saying.
And that's where I'm at, right? Like I want to see that trailer. I want to see, and we're gonna start getting into that, by mid-year. And I trust Jude Law. I like Jude Law as an actor. You know what I mean? It's a good staple. It's a good anchor for that kind of show. And if as long as it's not, and Joey could back me up on this, and I think everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say this. As long it's not kids Disney, you know what I mean? It's not Last
Clues.
Jedi broom boy stuff. The father years, those kids. It's not like that kind of orphan Annie kind of. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know. And I'm that just
you end up with Zach and Cody.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? Like that's where I'm nervous, Chris. That's where I'm at. And I can't control it, so I gotta sit back and watch it. That's what I'll do, you know.
I get it.
Like Joe said,
there's a nervous about because go ahead, sorry.
And instead of a cruise ship, it's on a starship of them, like they're say they were like Palpatine's nephews or something. You get to see them run around on the ship and cause chaos all the time, ordering in and everything. And we just sit here like, all right.
See, you make those faces because it
could happen.
on everybody's on the house. Yeah. They hijack the Halcyon and they're just.
Oh my god! Yeah,
that's what makes
it so hard to tie it in. Yeah.
And we always said this too. Is Skeleton Crew the new story group or the old story group? Right. That's. I mean, again, if you know, you know, and without getting, like I said, all political, but yes, Rhino Hobby, of course. We've been saying that forever, man. They should be using Batu in some of those shows.
It makes no sense that you have this place where gangsters and people go to hide, and you have bounty hunters and stuff trying to hide, and they don't ever go there. It's like
part of me wonders if they don't touch it because they want to keep it for us, us on Earth to go to, and they don't want to taint it. But I think they could only benefit from it, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it can only help.
Go to the Disney,
it can only help. And if we're saying that, since we go there and involved in it and stuff, and if we're saying it's okay to do it, it's okay.
That's the point of it, right? We want to be immersed. I want to be somewhere that Star Wars is. So you put it in your books, you put it in your comics, you put it in all sorts of things. You need to put it in your shows, and that also opens it up.
It also opens it up for more character interactions for the people that walk through Batu. I mean, it's already expanding.
That's what it is, right there.
You know what? The actual that's a good point. Mm-hmm. The coolest thing would be to have Thrawn on Batu.
Yeah,
and again mention it and be in the bar and look at it, and just then you had this little connection to the books, to everything, then you again connecting three things is neat.
What did we want to do, Scott? What did we want to do? We wanted to walk through Batu and document everything that was in the books, and like these blaster marks were here for a reason. Here's a story behind them actually being there, and then you read in the book
in like, hand.
Yeah. And so that's another layer of it,
But we've got Ahsoka there, we've got Hera there, we've got Chopper there. One thing we seem to be missing, we've got the Mandalorian, we got Boba Fett. We don't have the villains from this era. We got Kylo Ren, right? So why don't we have a Thrawn? You've already got somebody walking around in orange face paint. Why can't they throw on some blue, put on an Imperial uniform? Why isn't Thrawn walking around? It's a perfect opportunity to switch things up a little bit, right? To make it a little bit more
especially modern. Even if you want to make it special. I'm sorry, if you want to make it special, have Thrawn in the cantina. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where that whole thing went down.
That place gets crowded as hell on a daily basis. So
I know
that would be impossible to move around with him in there.
Well, I mean, it's not like he's there. It's just it's an appearance and then. But yeah, I understand.
Hey, I want to be upset real fast. As something Scott said, because I don't really think about it like this, and now I'm mad about it. After he said Boba Fett, he said there's no villains besides Kylo. I'm all fuck. Boba Fett's not a villain. That sucks.
No. He's an anti-hero.
And that sucks worse. That makes him Batman, and he's not Batman. I'm just like
or Lobo. Yeah.
I just really hated that. I just grew up with him as a villain. I just don't
You're
like
him
as not a villain.
He's not
icky.
He's not
gross.
There is a villains that walk around there. Anything can be thrown into any of the Disney Plus shows though by using the volume, because they can write it so easy as far as wherever they land on top of Docking Bay 7. So you can see that. They come out through the doors of Docking Bay 7. You can show the marketplace. You interact there.
Let's have Doc on there in the shows.
That's what I was going to say. Some way of an interaction with Doc.
Yeah.
And then the cantina and maybe, I don't know, something else landing in the corner. Like you take away Kylo's ship and showing another ship land there or something. And now
you don't even have to do that because I mean, that's not like specifically Kylo's ship from the movies, right?
It's an echelon.
That's just kind of like a generic echelon fighter,
and it was never in the movies, so you can put it anywhere you want.
But to us, does it not look First Order?
Oh yeah, big time.
So I'd rather it be Imperial.
It was supposed to be in the movies, but it wasn't. That was
I do want to say also that if we did this, I mean, if we were on Batuu, it would finally be a reason to see this guy right here in the corner, jeans guy. Because Batuu is covered in people in jeans, so we would finally have a reason to have jeans.
I mean, he's already walking around
in universe.
He's already walking around.
Yeah, actually, that's really where you introduce Hondo.
Yeah.
Yes,
absolutely. Sugar.
We haven't talked about Hondo forever.
Skeleton Crew. That's what we're getting this year, right?
Yeah.
Hondo's coming this year.
We know the pirates. We know the pirates in Mando season 3 are in it.
Write it down, dude. Hondo and kids and Jedi work.
But
that's true.
But they're going to another part of the galaxy
after they stop on Batuu, and Hondo points him in the direction that gets him that way.
But wait a second, where is Batuu in this whole? Where is in?
It's the outer reaches,
on Galaxy's Edge.
It's at the Galaxy's Edge, on the edge of the galaxy.
Anaheim, California.
Yeah. Galaxy's
Edge. My bad. Ask
a
stupid question.
It's ready.
You're like a step into the unknown regions, basically. Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say then Batuu could be the place where the Skeleton Crew goes to. You know what I mean? It could be actually the place, but if they're doing unknown regions and Batuu's not in the unknown regions,
but
it's
Brian
on the way.
Yeah, bring the books to life. Great, of course.
Dude, that's what they've done really well in Boba Fett, dude. I think they brought books, animation, comics, everything to life.
That was a great
That was the best thing that Boba Fett did.
Let me ask you guys, why do you think they have not shown Hondo in live action yet? They've had so many perfect opportunities to do it. And they just refuse.
Yeah, I don't know.
You've got Brian Cummins, who is the voice of Hondo, who cannot be Hondo because Jim Cummins. Thank you. Brian Cummins is the voice of Dr. Mindbender. My apologies. So you've got, but he's really, I don't think he's the right physique. So you'd have to get the voiceover on it. Because he's got a very distinctive voice. You can't just throw any old person in there.
Oh, I would think it'd be a CGI. I would think CGI face.
CGI
or
I would CGI
practical,
Hondo.
but
we saw a live action Hondo.
No.
We've seen a live action Hondo.
Yeah.
On the Millennium Falcon ride, and that looks not the animatronic. I'm talking about the one that comes on the screen.
It is okay. I mean,
I don't.
It's come a long way since the. It's come a long way though. The animation, the makeup. Yeah. Just look at what's his name, the pirate, not the Pirate King, Gorian Shard, but the other
pirates are amazing. Yeah,
the pirates look amazing.
But there's no reference to them.
If they've upped their makeup game to that level, they could do wonders with Hondo.
But so they could just voice over Jim over an actor. Then either way, you can do his voice, but.
Man, they did look what they did with Luke, and look what they did with James Earl Jones for Vader. If to redoing Vader's voice and everything, it's like perfect. To me, it was perfect. It was almost flawless. I mean, if you really, really leaned into it, you can tell a difference. But like, they have it all on the computer now, where they just punch it in. I mean, not just punch it in, but they can like synthesize Hondo's voice and do any kind of dialogue they want now. I mean. We have tons and tons and tons of reference of him.
You do, but I don't know. Ubaldo T during the closed hours of Disneyland, just film in Batuu.
Yeah, you could do that, or like
That's
it's like
there.
the volume. I mean, they can just CGI that whole thing and then put it in there. Sorry, this is funny because if you know. Brian C. Harbor Boulevard can lead you to some unknown regions. Yeah,
seriously.
Anaheim in the 80s was not the Anaheim of today. Let's put it that way.
Don't forget Del Taco first, though. And then go on your way.
Yes. Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. We haven't put Holdo in our talk in a long time. And
Holdo.
I'm sorry.
I leave Holdo out of all my talk.
What the hell?
Hondo. I'm still mad at Holdo.
Hondo. We'll see Hondo live action before the end of the year.
For the end of the year.
Moocher just had a Freudian slip right there.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, I secretly like.
What about that Holdo? Yeah.
Purple
I like
dress
to
and everything.
maneuver her.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hondo, I agree with Joe. Hondo should have been brought in a long time ago. I would love to see Hondo. There's so many different opportunities. We need to bring him back because he's missed out of lots of things right now. So
yep, that's the comedic piece that can work in every show. Hondo works everywhere.
Yep,
because he's awesome and he's funny and he's and it's one of those heart tugging things, right? Because he gets really Ezra. He's going to get sensitive about Ezra at some point because he'll show up in Ahsoka too, or some point in one of these movies. But they're going to introduce him on Batu in Skeleton.
Now, Hondo with an Ugnaught.
Yeah. They'll have the Ugnaught,
all the time.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yes, Hondo and an Ugnaught all the time,
and a puffer pig,
and
just
a
for
puffer
fun.
pig.
Yep,
and a puffer
to have
pig.
one in live action.
How Batu doesn't sell puffer pig balloons, I don't know.
Dude,
right.
I do not know how.
But
right. They do those tiny squeezy toys, but
yeah,
Disney, all you have to do is put that in a balloon. There, you'll see adults walking around with them. No lie.
Do you want to see balloons in Batu though? I mean, like honestly.
A puffer pig.
I don't know.
That's fine.
I can't stand that there's people in Batu. That alone
balloons go flying and get tangled up in horses' legs.
Yeah, like man.
If they had like probe droid balloons and things like that, I would hold those up. That would be fun, like a little probe droid floating.
It would be neat.
Oh,
trust me,
dude,
it would be.
yeah.
Like the flags of the pod race. If you
the pod race, the greatest scene in Star Wars, the pod race.
Right. You could hold those up, walk around Batu representing your faction or whatever you like,
I'm cool. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Picking sides.
Walking around with an Odie Mandrill balloon.
What do we think? Out of all five of us here, do all five of us agree that Hondo will appear by the end of the year? I say no. I do not think they've got I don't think they got the guts to do it. And I don't know why.
I say yes.
Sense.
You know what? I'm gonna Go ahead.
I said Ernie said yes. Ernie's got my back. I'm feeling more confident now. I'm like,
I'm gonna. The reason I say yes is because Skeleton Crew is where you do it.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do it in
out of Galaxy.
Yes, you can do it in. Well, it does. I mean, we got to get there, and we start here and then we get there. Mandalorian. I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see them in. I know the pirates are in this stuff, but Hondo's a more tongue-in-cheek character. And I see him. If you're going to do it in any show, it's going to be Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew, then Ahsoka because of Ezra. He's going to be close there. But Skeleton Crew, or you could have done it in Kenobi, right? Those are the only ones that could have really worked. And looking back at Mando, even though they had pirates, like you said, there's no need to put Hondo there. That's just shoehorning him in. But the pirates leading to Hondo worried about later, the aesthetics.
Yeah,
right. They're the step to him.
And those pirates could have formerly been his crew too. They could have been former crew members of his. However, I mean, they don't even have the guts to bring Bosk and Dengar and all of these other characters from the Empire.
But they did Cad Bane. They did Cursan. I mean, it's there. You know what I mean? Like, Cad Bane was as a gutsy decision, I thought it worked.
They're shitty about old non-Disney characters besides Luke and R2.
Yes.
Except they brought those characters into Clone Wars. Those characters were in Clone Wars for multiple arcs. Why they had, Bosk and Dengar, and I think even Zuckuss and Forlom were in an episode. But why they haven't brought them forward into these live actions in shows that revolve around bounty hunters?
Well, I think you hit it on one of you hit on right on the head is that
was probably
those are old. Yeah, those are old characters, and they want new characters. They want their own thumbprint on it, which
that's why it's the Rebels crew and not the original trilogy.
Yeah,
crew. And,
it's like,
and it makes sense. It's more their things. They feel freer with their stuff than they do with the.
I'm with you, Scott. I want to see those, and I think any new fan would be like, yeah, who are these people? It's new to them,
we're also talking about Hondo, who Hondo was also created in the old regime. He's not a Disney character. I mean,
no, but he's in Rebels, right? And that kind of changes things up. Once you're in Rebels, it kind of Disneyfies it. In my opinion. Now, mind you, Leia was too. They all were. right?
Well,
but
they had to,
small bits.
Yeah. Again, I'm not worried about the aesthetics, like you were talking about, as far as like voice and whatever. I mean, I kind of like trusting that more than I am story at this point. Like, they're doing very good at that kind of, like you said with the pirates. I thought Cad Bane was excellent the way they did it, the guts to bring Cad Bane to life, and not just bring him to life. I mean, it was a true character brought in. It was like,
and the voice actor from the show was in it
and
too. I mean,
and that's where I will agree with you. The voice actor for Hondo, it's like, damn, because if he won't do it or whatever, then it's going to be kind of a myth.
Yeah, but there's somebody out there that sounds like him. There's got to be somebody out there.
Yeah, you can computer generate it. I mean,
it's Winnie the Pooh, man. You can't take Winnie the Pooh out of Star.
Yeah, they're very consistent with their voice actors and their voices. Why would they switch?
They do.
It makes no sense, right? So,
I do know that he does not. He doesn't really like Hondo very much, though, which is
but you pay him, they'll do whatever you want.
I've never got that. Did you see that? Did you see him say that? Because I've never.
I don't know
that from him. He likes Pooh more.
He is Pooh, and he is
who doesn't.
But I just whenever I was talking to him, I got the sense that was not his. It was not his forte.
I love the book he narrates as Hondo. I love it. It's a kid's book, and it's a blast. It's a little dumb story, but it's really good with Hondo and Han.
Yeah,
I gotta listen to that again. Yeah.
See, so there's two opportunities Hondo can come up. Well, there's more than two, but Skeleton Crew and the Lando series. So there's a second chance right there of that time frame, the Solo Lando time, if that's the time frame.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, it makes sense. Skeleton Crew is the one. I'm sure of it. Damn it! And if not, they just suck. If it's not, because that's the one. That's the one.
He needs to come face to face with Ezra. That's
at some point he will.
Happen.
But and I like how they step stuff here in these shows, right? So you get the pirates. The pirates lead to Hondo. Hondo sends the kids off this way, then he'll go to them. Now everything's connected. That all the shows are connected. And then all of a sudden the pirates connecting to these puts Skeleton Crew and Mando in the same world. And him going to Ahsoka puts them all together. I like it. Dave,
make it happen.
All right, now spin a wheel.
Yeah. Exactly.
Are we gonna spin a wheel?
No, we're wrap it up here. But I mean, it's cool to have the buzz starting to build. Again with we take these slates for granted for what it is, but they're so far out they almost seem unreachable at this point. Like, oh yeah, we're doing movies 5 years from now, like whatever, and eventually they'll be here, and who knows if it comes to fruition or not. We have Super Bowl this weekend. Ooh. Anything Star Wars, do you think?
No, but Deadpool.
Other than Acolyte, maybe?
No, I don't even think that.
If Acolyte's in May, this would be the perfect opportunity to drop a trailer.
They'll just drop it ahead of time. We'd know by Friday if they're gonna. We'll see it on Friday if they're gonna have it on Sunday. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, if Acolyte is May, then this would be like a great time to drop that trailer that they did in Celebration or whatever.
They don't really even do that for big movies, hardly.
Not anymore, huh?
For the Acolyte, no, they're not going to spend it.
Not the Acolyte, huh? Not a Disney Plus show.
No.
Well, wasn't it the only time they dropped the Star Wars trailer during the Super Bowl? Wasn't it when Force Awakens?
Last Jedi, I think it was last time.
Oh,
was it?
No,
I thought it was Force Awakens. I think it was the first one.
I thought it was Force Awakens.
Yeah. And we've watched it since. I mean, I watched it anyway, but I watched it since without a Star Wars.
That's right, because it came out that Friday before Super Bowl. Remember, because I watched it at work and had to go to the, I had to run away. No one can see me like this.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
They did it great though. I mean, as you guys are all talking about it, hearing that whoop, that scares you and Finn pops up.
It's a great trailer, dude.
It was. It was a great trailer. Like, just holy crap, we're doing this again. Who is that? What is going on?
The Chewie we're home. The Chewie we're home was a moment of like, I love Star Wars. You're really
crying.
And my complaint doesn't lie within Force Awakens too much. It doesn't.
No.
You know what I mean? It's all three put together, and it's the last two. Those are like, because the other day I almost put on
gradually worse.
Yeah, because besides at the Mike said my only kind of like disconnect with
Force Awakens. I'm stopping you. I'm stopping you because we made a pact 2 weeks ago.
We did not make a pact.
Yes, we did. To stop
talking
about the sequels because all we're doing is bashing them. No, we have the same fucking talk every couple
I didn't agree. I was there, but I didn't agree. It was you two.
No. And you know what? We voted. We all voted. The sequel bashing stops because we don't need to. We're better than that.
I will say this: if you really want to enjoy the sequels, just watch the trailers.
There you go.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I really want to enjoy it.
Chris says, I'll allow it. All right.
That wasn't bashing. Right. But did we not say? Let's not bash. If we're not going to be productive. Because Scott brought up the sequels last week, but it was within a productive piece of the talk. We were just about to bash the shit out of it there.
I'm not bashing, but I am saying with the new movies coming out, I swear to God, if that second movie is the next day of anything, I will be there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
If Lando's picking up right from where he left,
that next movie is the next day, next scene of anything that we've seen, I will get up and say
it only works for The Hobbit, okay? And I'll leave it at that.
I don't even watch those shows, nerd.
Lando walks in bitching to somebody about how he lost a Falcon about 3 hours ago.
3 hours.
Right, and then we just jump into it.
Yeah, just go right into it.
You can complain about that all you want, but that'd be okay.
That'd be the one that would work. That would be that. It really was a bad example because that one would work.
Because they're side adventures. We don't want those on episodic storylines. But
yeah. I want to know where Lando went right after.
Exactly. I kind of do want to know.
How'd he get home?
Yeah, I want to know. Was he stuck on that? All right, guys. All right. Well, let's get out of here. Again, happy Star Wars Podcast Day. Thank you to the Jedi Talk podcast that started this whole craze of giving the fans the notion of there's a forum out there to utilize to talk Star Wars rather than our living rooms and we do that too. But propelled thousands and thousands of Star Wars podcasts today that everybody listens to. So, and everybody that's joining us, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Next week we will do this again, but I say it might just be one person sitting here talking to whoever else in the Lonely Hearts Club in the chat that wants to join in, but we'll leave that for next week. We'll see what happens.
You do like the comic shop in Big Bang. Just have all the way come in. We'll just have a party by ourselves.
I might just do a Big Bang, all the Big Bang Star Wars talk episode by myself.
Oh, F you, dude. I've already used 2, so I can't throw a third one or you'd have got it. You don't do that without me. You're saving that.
Okay. I see. Here's this.
I Star Wars
to
too.
That. I agree to that.
Yeah.
The whole prequel thing or sequel thing. I didn't agree to that. I was just there.
But we can't. No. I think I'm gonna look back at the receipts. I'm pretty sure you said yeah.
That's funny. All right, guys. Thank you everybody for joining us. Have a great night. Like and subscribe. I'm gonna kick it off to Ernie, the Fallen Fett over there, to kick us out properly. And I will see you next week. Not you guys. I will see the pit. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, you ain't saying maybe Valentine's Day. I'm staying married.
Yeah. Anybody want to stay married? You can join me next week.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Everybody now, for those who will be home next week and their friends, bring them on over to Mooch. Let him scope them out. He'll be here next week. He's going to do a thing of Star Wars trivia. The one who wins may have the date with Moocher. So bring everybody over here.
Wow.
And this is your perfect time, Mooch. All the movies you like, anything you're cool with, death metal questions, put it all in there.
Bring all the doc ladies.
Come on. And as
bring it on.
There, yeah. Oh my God, you were just set. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna have Star Wars, horror, and death metal podcast next week.
Yes.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
And how to link it all together. How to make
I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
You got this. I might come on secretly. Don't let me in. I might just sit there with my earbud in.
I'm gonna love that when we come home and it's 11:30 and Mooch are still streaming
and crying with everybody, like with the pit. Like, I don't know, guys, but I love you. You're so
longest episode.
I feel so much closer. I feel so
75 people on.
I've just doxed myself.
Everywhere. He's just boom, dude.
Mooch went viral and left us right then, right?
Yeah.
He's
all next week.
There it is. Table for one.
Also, he's on Club Shay Shay and on with Two Bears or whatever, Two Bears in a Cave, or you're in all the podcasts.
Yes, Metal Star Wars. I mean, come on, let's go.
Be sure and join Moocher next week. It's going to be a very monumental show.
Yeah, even if I was going to now, I'm not.
It might be awesome. It might be kind of sad. It could be both. You never know.
It could be sad, which makes it awesome. We don't. I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sad. So.
No.
Next Wednesday show due to technical difficulties. The show is...
Scrapped.
If I had hair, I'd grow it over my eyes and not to hide you guys. Get all emo.
That's why.
And that's what
join Mooch next week on the Sarlacc Digest Lonely Hearts podcast. It's going to be a great, it's going to be a great show.
Title: I love him. You. F off. That's the title. Sorry.
Wow.
You know how many clicks you'll get too? Oh, what is this?
I think that's going to be the title, the episode title next week. I love you.
Right.
F off.
Yeah.
Is it an exploration as to how the relationship between Padme and Anakin and Rey
that was in
Kylo, just none of it works?
The Family Guy Star Wars. I love you. F you.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It'll be great. Okay, right. You just got a behind the scenes look at how we put together the titles for the show.
That's it.
So there you go, guys. If you want some more behind the scenes stuff, please think about joining our Patreon as well. That helps out our show. Become a member there. You can tell us what topic we're going to talk about next, among other things. Don't forget to check out all of our past episodes and find us on all social media, from TikTok reviews to what else do we have? Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Facebook for 24/7 Star Wars Talk. Join that community as well. And we got cool things going on over there. Then be sure and come back and check out here on our YouTube for all of our other reviews, past shows, anything to get you through the day while you're sitting by yourself in the corner next Wednesday. So you'll have plenty to watch. We do love you, though. Yeah, we love you here. I didn't say they were next to the bathrooms. Loves you. Yeah. If nobody loves you, we do. So come here. That's the way it goes. Yeah. If you think about buying yourself something because you deserve it, head on over to Tashi Station Emporium. They have plenty of stuff for you to buy. Figure stands, background stuff, red blood stains.
Yeah. She doesn't want roses or chocolates. She wants stands.
Yes. She doesn't want.
Absolutely.
If you love your husband or wife that collects Star Wars,
that's what he wants right there.
Yeah. Send it over.
Morgan Elsbeth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know Tarkin doesn't want her.
Yeah. Oh no.
No.
Sorry. Continue, Ernie.
Yeah.
But we support Tarkin as well too. So
Absolutely.
Please, yes.
Nothing wrong with it.
Spread the Star Wars love, and we will see you next week. Well, Moocher will, and we'll be back the week after that.
Love is love, even if it's only
love. Love is love. Doesn't have to be with a partner. All right, guys.
Wait till he's going to bring the lightsaber fleshlight just for the 14th.
Special announcement, Tashi Station.
I hear it humming, Moocher, but what color is it?
I mean, maybe it changes color.
Jesus Christ.
With keep that, nerdy, Scott. Okay.
Keep it nerdy.
Bye.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Wow.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.